So, hey guys, what's up? It's Raven here, and I'm attempting to start up my YouTube channel for a third time. Yeah, I've tried this twice before, and due to where I was in life and certain circumstances, I just couldn't do it. But I'm gonna try again. So, what you see me working on here is actually, I guess if you want to call it my avatar or my character, whatever, that's kind of what I'm working on here. And unfortunately, because the software I use, you can see the little thing in the corner. It only records about 45 minutes at a time. You only get to see part of the inking portion. What I'm going to upload next time is going to be the remainder of the inking and the coloring. But, yeah, I just wanted to explain what I was working on here for a quick second. And I do want to explain that I am mostly self-taught. I mean, I did take a couple art classes and wasted my time at art school, but that's about it. Did I learn some things? Yes. Was it worth it? Not really. But a little bit more about me. I'm currently 22 years old. I'm a Taurus. I like long walks on the beach. No, I'm kidding. I actually hate that. I'm lazy and I hate walks. I'll go for walks sometimes, but other than that, it's rarely done. Seriously though, I am self-taught in most of my work. I'm currently working on a couple of different series. And I believe I started my current one. The working name is Nola Style. It may change, it may not. It depends on however the hell this goes. But the working name is Nola Style, and I'm working on it with a friend. I don't want to give her real name because I believe we've talked about this before, but I don't want to give her real name just for privacy reasons. But it's kind of a slice of life drama kind of thing. That's just to kind of explain the genre. Do I have a working synopsis? No, I don't, because I'm so busy with work. I never really have time to sit down and work on what I'm working on, but it'll get done eventually. But in any case, other than that, just trying to think here. But other than that, I was a foster kid. I did age out of foster care. And be like, oh my god, wow, you aged out of foster care? And it's not like I was in foster care since I was like 2 and I aged out. No, I went into foster care at the age of 13. And my first home was kind of crappy. The people were nice, but it was still kind of crappy. My second home, it was actually pretty great. The lady I lived with, I'm gonna call her Margot, because I don't use real names on my channel. She was really nice. We did butt heads a lot, but I feel like that was mostly because I was in a, I wouldn't say tumultuous time in my life. I had been with my mother since I was born, and then suddenly being taken away from her for whatever reason. You know, it kind of fucks with you. It really does. And I do have a younger brother. He was adopted. I chose for him to be adopted because I felt that I personally couldn't take care of him, but that's a whole other story. If you guys want to know about that, leave comments below or DM me, and I'm more than happy to type out my whole life story for you. Actually, no, never mind. I'll just make a video. But yeah, living with Margot was actually pretty nice. She had a dog who unfortunately recently passed. Her dog was very sweet. She had a German Shepherd. Very lovely, lovely girl. She was the best girl. But yeah, when I had to move from Margot's house because she just couldn't take any more of my shit anymore, I was actually pretty sad. But then that leads me to my third home, where I have the best stories. I have all the best stories from that house. And not in a good way, if you really want to think about it. I went from living with Margot to living with this lady who I'll call Agatha, and I gave her that name because I absolutely hate this woman, and I hate the name Agatha. I think it's such an ugly name. I'm sorry to anybody who's listening who may have the name Agatha, but I hate the name. It's just hideous to me. What was I gonna say? But dear God, I remember when I first was dropped off at Agatha's house, and I didn't want to live there. It was terrible. I remember walking into the house, and it was in like this really rich neighborhood. I'm not even joking. Like, it was like this cul-de-sac type area. People had these big grand houses, and it was freaking nice, man. Like, it was super quiet, but at the same point in time, it was just her house I hated. I mean, funny enough, in high school, one of my friends lived right right next to me. And that made things better once I met her and everything. I would go over to her house. And then, no, that was a different time. Sorry. But then I remember getting to Agatha's house, and I just absolutely fucking hated it. I was like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to be here. I hate this house. And because she had so many dogs, she used to be a breeder, so she was allowed to have more than the legal limit of dogs, because I know when you're a breeder, you're allowed to have more than the legal limit. Because she had so many dogs and they weren't really trained, when you walked into certain areas of the house and it just smelled like dog pee, and it was kind of gross, but we kind of got used to it. And the basement is where a couple of the other foster kids lived, and it wasn't like dark and murky or anything. It was a fully furnished, carpeted basement. You had a working bathroom with a shower and a toilet, and you had a couple of rooms, and you had the laundry room. It was really nice. But it was just this vibe about this house that I fucking hated. And I soon realized a couple weeks after living there why I hated it so much. Because I remember I had saw one of my other foster sisters who they either said something or had done something, and I went to go tell Agatha, and I was like, so-and-so did this or so-and-so said that, and she was just like, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me, Raven, you're my favorite. And I was like, the fuck? You don't even know me. How am I your favorite? I've only been here like a month, And then another one of the girls who was an adult, because she also because her home also doubled as a disabled home. She was severely autistic. Well, not severely autistic to where she couldn't function, but she was pretty autistic, I'll say. And she was like, well, I thought you told me I was your favorite. And I'm going to call this girl, I'm going to call her Macy. And Macy was just kind of like, how dare you say this to this other girl, basically. And she was just like, oh no, Macy, you're one of my favorites too. And I was like, oh, okay, so you want to play the favorites game, so that way I'll suck up to you and kiss your ass. Is that how this is gonna go? So yeah, needless to say, that did not go very well, because I decided from that point on I was not going to play any of this lady's games. And the best way to describe her is that she was basically a grown-ass woman, but she had like all the social skills and mentality of like a preppy, annoying 15-year-old teenager. And I was like, oh my god. And how people say it's really hard for some kids to relate to people who are sorry if you hear a lot of background noise. My boyfriend's cooking and I have my AC running. But you know how they say it's really hard for people to relate to people who happen to be around the same age? This is fucking why. Like, she was so immature. She would constantly talk shit about me and my other foster sisters to her friends, who were grown-ass women and men, but most of her friends gladly engaged in some of this conflict. And I'm just like, really? Really? Like, just insert like meme faces here, because that's just how I feel about it. And it was from that day forward that I decided I was not going to bend over backwards to kiss this lady's ass. Because, like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't care if I end up in some house up north. At least I don't have to deal with this shit. You know what I mean? And me and her did butt heads quite often because we're both very stubborn people. Very fucking stubborn people. Like, I'm stubborn. Anybody who knows me personally will tell you that, yeah, this bitch is stubborn. I mean, after a lot of talking to, I'll probably change my mind, but more than likely I won't. But in any case, yeah, I just did not like living with her at all. I mean, I don't know why she kept me, because she could have did what she did with my two other foster sisters and put them in other places. Because a foster parent can do that. As long as a social worker, does their homework and there's an open home, you're fucking moving if your foster parent can't stand you. And this is why some kids move from home to home to home. I was lucky. Third time was a charm. I stayed there till I graduated, and then I noped the fuck out of there. But yeah. I don't know why she kept me. I mean, maybe it's because she saw me more as a paycheck than an actual person with value, because, to be honest, Agatha was never really there. She had a trailer up north that she went to before, you know, like in the summer and sometimes in the fall when it wasn't too cold and shit like that. So yeah, don't know why she decided to keep me, but yeah, I fucking hated it. I really, really fucking hated it. What was I gonna say? As for everything, I mean, everything else was okay. Like, the secondary caretaker, before she moved out, she was really fucking cool. Our respite caretaker, oh my god, I loved her. I loved her to death. I don't know an accurate fake name to give her, even though it doesn't matter what I call her, but our respite caretaker, oh my god, I love her. And I don't know if she'll ever see this video, but she was the best. She reminded me so much of my mom and a couple of my aunts, actually. And I think that's probably why I took to her and probably respected her so much as I did. I don't know if she felt that I respected her, because, let's be honest, as a teenager, I was kind of a shithead. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm 22 now. But yeah. What was I gonna say? I'm sorry I'm still rambling. I wrote out a script to read and that just kind of went haywire, but at least I told my story, am I right? So I guess I'll just, you know, let this bead paint finish up, and probably drop in some cool music for you guys. But feel free to follow me on Twitter. I do have a Twitter. I have an Instagram. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more from me. I will upload videos every 2 weeks. Unless I post on my Instagram or Twitter, then I'm having a schedule change. So expect a video every 2 weeks. And then, yeah, I guess I will see you guys another day. Bye.